Okay, I'm giving you a quick run through on my books. I've got another video called My Books if you want to look at it. But It's the Liver Stupid was my first one, and it dwells on various food topics and especially high level MSM, which was the thing that got me to write the book. And the second book is Methylation Awareness and You, which something that came out of the MSM. That one of the members of our online group told me about the methylation cycles, which I had read about quite a bit, but I didn't ever associate it with the methylation cycles with MSM, which, if you look at it, is two methyl groups, so it makes a lot of sense. And then the third one is Beyond Epigenetics, which is takes what Bruce Lipton has done one step higher, and that's what we're working with my friend Rich Price, working at the superconscious level to heal people. My last book is Surrender to the Oneness, which is almost a pure spiritual book, but it does have a little bit about healing in it. And healing is a little bit spiritual, or it's a lot spiritual actually. So, it had, but I put my attention basically on spirituality. Okay, today I'm going to talk about the spiritual implications of healing people and why you get sick, other than the fact that you don't take care of yourself. But that just the fact that you don't take care of yourself is one of the reasons that you get sick. And that sounds like I'm being sort of redundant here, but the fact is that everything that you do affects your wellness. So if you don't pay attention to yourself, just like as if you don't pay attention to anybody, that can make you sick. It can make you really sick. So I'm not the first person to ever say this, but one of the problems with that, how do I put this? One of the things that Dr. Bruce Lipton has found is that everything as far as wellness goes swings on your how you subconsciously think about yourself, and he proves that. He's proven it scientifically. This is not just something that I'm coming up with, or he actually came up with. It's something that he found out by dealing with people. So there is a long basis for what I'm saying here. But what I started out to talk about, and this is all part of it, is that when somebody heals somebody else, well, we say everybody heals themselves. Well, that's the way it's got to be. All you can do as a healer, and I was just talking to my friend Rich today about it, and he's certainly one of probably the best healer I've ever heard about. What he's doing is incredible. He cures Lyme disease sometimes in 20 minutes, but he can certainly cure it within three treatments. Just about any kind of Lyme's there is, and some of these Lyme's diseases that come back, which he calls cystotic Lyme. I can't remember the name of it exactly, but it's a Lyme spiral with a cyst on the end of it. It sounds really nasty. I don't know anything about it, but he can heal people of this, and he's probably the only person in the world right now that does it. Most people in other countries don't get Lyme's, at least I've heard about. It was released first in Lyme, Connecticut. I think is a chemical warfare virus. That's what I get. I don't know, but or bacteria, I guess. But the fact is that it's changed quite a bit since it was first released, and there are like 20 varieties of limes now out, and much of the mainstream medicine treats limes for things like MS and things that have nothing to do with it, because they don't know. They see the symptoms and they look like something else, so they treat it for that, and that's not what it is. It's still a parasite. And not that I don't know what MS really is. It's probably not a parasite, but they might be wrong on that too. We just don't know. I know that they, the labs are pretty good at this stuff, but once in a while they get it wrong, and certainly Lyme's disease is one of the things that they get wrong a lot. All right, so where I started out, if a doctor or any healer gets intimately involved in a treatment and begins to feel for the person that they're treating, and I'm talking about where it affects them emotionally, they're subject to karma, and when that happens, they can't be. And I know it happens, but if they're going to be a well person and come out of this thing with without diseases themselves, they've got to stay neutral, and that's really hard to do. It takes a good deal of awareness and neutrality to stay that way in a situation where somebody is really hurting. Okay, now I'm going to talk about the water, because that was one of the things that Rich and I talked about quite a bit today, and that's what we're working on the most. And I think it's probably going to be the most beneficial thing that he's ever done or I've ever seen when it comes to especially things like cancer treatment. So that's what you run the water through, and it comes out that end. It runs pretty much like a spigot. When you pour it in the top, it comes out. There's hardly any resistance. But it's very similar to some of the things that Victor Schauberger talked about, the German scientists of the 40s and 50s. It has a cylinder full of programmed crystals, and these things jostle the water around quite a bit. You can hear them moving up and down when you pour it through it, and it also has a fractal stack in it that programs the water as it goes through it. So it's based on the same thing that we use for the cars that I've shown videos on here, and also on what Rich uses for healing. And it's certainly well above most of the things that anybody in the world is doing for the most part, as far as healing goes. So I've shown other videos on cancer and how to cure cancer, and one of the things that I've come up with, and I've pretty much seen it happen enough times to be able to positively say this, but it'll take a lot more study before I know for sure. But I showed you the graph of the lines of healing, where the hydration level at the cell which is really something that is kind of removed from hydration that most people understand. That hydration affects what I've seen, cancer, in positive ways, and it does it really quickly. And this is why when you go on the web and you hear people say things like, you get cancer all the time and you get rid of it. This is why that makes sense, because once that health resistance line, or I just call it a health line on my other videos. When that line gets down below the cancer line, and that line has got a lot to do with cellular hydration. When that line gets down below this the cancer line, you've got cancer. Now that might only happen for a short time. When you're drinking regular water and your hydration level is only 35% at the cell level, and that's really high. When it's at that level, and that line drops down below the cancer line, you got cancer. So you might have cancer 2-3 times a day. This doesn't make any sense, does it? Well, I'm pretty sure it's true. I'm not positive yet, but probably in the next 5 years, I'll be able to come out with something that actually proves what I'm saying. As we hook up with more professionals, more people that are in medical science, we'll be able to test these things out a lot better than we are now. But we test them out well enough right now that Rich is basically 100% sure of what he's doing when he's working with people, and he doesn't have to know that much to be able to do this. So that the water is key to, and it always has been. When he was using Dan Nelson's water, he would not treat anybody until they had gotten on Dan's water. Well, this water here is 25% better in terms of the cellular particle size, and it's several times better in terms of its overall health benefit. And there's nothing in the world like it. There's nothing in the world even like Dan's water. His water is what was pre-flood. Pre-flood, if some people may not believe there was a flood, I don't know. I know most Christians believe there's a flood, and they believe that the things that the Bible says. But there was a flood, and it happened about 12,500 years ago, from all I can get. And when that flood hit, it changed the way the water in the whole world behaved, so that people no longer could get could no longer clear their cells and fill them with water, fill the molecules with water as we can today with this. We get 100% hydration levels with this, and we're sending this out to labs to have them test the same and prove this. But this is something that can be proven. It's not something that we're just coming up with. This is real stuff, and more importantly, it's not something we're just coming up with because Rich can heal these people in milliseconds, really, sometimes, just using the water and a fractal stack together. We got something here that'll cure them. Oh, by the way, if you keep your cellular hydration level at 100%, I don't think you can keep cancer. If you got cancer, it's got to go away. It just cannot stay with that kind of hydration level. Your body is working too well when it's at 100% hydration. Everything in your body, your autoimmune system, everything about it is at virtually 100% levels. So nothing like cancer can handle that. It can't stay. There's no reason for it to be there. So it'll be fun to see how this works out. Again, when you look at things like thick blood, now some people may not even think there's such thing as thick blood, but I think most healing professionals understand that. The blood gets thick and it doesn't circulate well, and it causes your heart to pump hard, and the next thing you know, you got heart disease because it can't handle it. The same way as if you have hardening of the arteries and they can't flex and act like inner tubes to let some of the pressure off every time your heart pumps. That'll give you heart disease. Your heart can only stand so much. So when you stress it too far, obviously it's all the time. You're always stressing it. So if you got thick blood and hardening the arteries at the same time, you can expect heart disease at a pretty young. You can expect a heart attack and death at a fairly young age. It's just going to happen. And I used to have thick blood all the time. It's a killer. Okay, that's it for today. Please go into Amazon and buy my books, read them, and watch my videos. And I think the videos make a whole lot more sense when you do it. Also, you can get it on Kindle, and you can actually read the books on Amazon for free, I believe. At least you can read a good part of them. The water's not available yet. I just want to remind you that. I've said it before. I'm not sure when we're going to start selling it, because I mean we got to do have all of our testing done and be able to definitely say what's going on in every part at every corner, and can't do that yet. But we know it's really good, and we know it's really going to be a mind blower for everybody. And yeah, we're going to charge a good bit. Rich is going to charge, I should say, a good bit of money for these things. Once they get into production, maybe I don't know. I can't say. But they're going to be cheap enough, and you can make all the water you ever wanted. And he's talking about coming up with ways to combine this with some other kinds of water filters to make it into a system that can virtually take mud puddles and make them into the most wonderful drinking water in the world. So that'd be kind of nice too. So fractals, that's what you're seeing, fractals. This is not just for eye candy. This is real stuff. This is what makes you well.